Hello, dear friends. Today I want to talk to you about thyroid health. And then I want to give you a little bit of a preview of what I discuss on the latest episode of the Essential Oil Revolution, in which I discuss essential oils for thyroid health. So, first, I want to highlight the thyroid gland and why it is so vital for our overall health. And then what I'll do is give you a little bit of a breakdown of what is discussed in the episode. And you can go ahead and click on the link in the video description to get all of the detailed show notes and also a link to go ahead and listen to the show. Now, before we get to the actual content here, I just want to give a little disclaimer that there are a couple of studies related to how essential oils impact thyroid health directly, clinical studies, I mean. But most of the studies are related to how essential oils can support some of the underlying triggers and factors related to thyroid health, including symptom alleviation, as well as helping balancing out some of the aspects that could cause the thyroid to be imbalanced to begin with. So that is pretty cool. All right, so if we look at the thyroid gland, the thyroid is a small butterfly-shaped gland located in the middle of your neck, and it's an endocrine organ. It produces and releases thyroid hormone. And your thyroid actually impacts almost all processes in your body. It can help to regulate your metabolism, your emotions, your brain function, your heart, muscle contractions, even cholesterol levels and liver function. So, if your thyroid isn't optimally functioning, it can impact every aspect of your body, really. Now, there are two types of thyroid dysfunction. One is hypothyroidism, in which the thyroid is actually functioning below its optimal function. And then there's hyperthyroidism, in which the thyroid is a little bit too overactive. Now, autoimmune diseases of the thyroid include Hashimoto's, Graves' disease, and a few others. And Hashimoto's tends to lead to hypothyroidism, and Graves' disease tends to lead to hyperthyroidism. And autoimmune means that the actual thyroid gland is getting kind of attacked by the immune system, but really there's an imbalance. And what happens there is the thyroid hormone dysregulation isn't caused by an actual thyroid issue, but an immune issue. Now, if we look at symptoms of thyroid imbalances, again, because the thyroid hormone has an interaction and intercepts at so many different receptors of cells throughout the whole body, there can be a lot of different symptoms. They can range from changes in body weight, fatigue, mood disturbances, brain fog, anxiety, depression, shifts in metabolism, digestive complaints, hair loss, skin issues, sleep problems. The list can go on and on. So the symptoms can be vague and they can overlap other problems. So that's why it's really good to see if your thyroid gland is optimally functioning or not, which leads us to, how do we do that? Well, most doctors use labs. They use the thyroid stimulating hormone, or TSH, to determine thyroid activity. Now, this actually isn't a thyroid hormone. It's actually a pituitary hormone, and it's the signal to the thyroid gland to go ahead and release more thyroid hormone, but it isn't directly measuring the thyroid gland output of thyroid hormones. So what most doctors that are integrative will do is they'll want to check your free T4, which is your thyroxine, and they'll want to check your tyriiodothyronine, or your T3, free and bound, and also thyroid antibodies. Some might do some additional testing like reverse T3, but all of these different tests can actually measure how your thyroid hormone is functioning as far as what the hormone output is from the thyroid. And then the functional or naturopathic doctor can kind of start to decode and figure out why hormones are either higher or lower. And sometimes it isn't directly related to the thyroid. So you want to get to the root cause. You want to look at conversion issues in the liver or the gut, which I've talked about in previous episodes when I went over the liver and the microbiome on the Essential Oil Revolution, because conversion of active hormone of the thyroid actually occurs in the liver and in the gut, about 20%. So you want to have a healthy gut and liver. You don't just want to throw thyroid hormones into your system without looking at the underlying root cause, because you offset the thyroid hormone. Again, you're going to offset all of these different processes in your body and also potentially impact all your other hormones. If we look at the statistics for thyroid disease, the American Thyroid Association states that 12% of the US population will develop a thyroid condition in their lifetime. So it's pretty common. It translates to about 20 million Americans experiencing some type of thyroid dysfunction. 60% of those with thyroid disease will actually be undiagnosed or unaware of it. And this is an issue because undiagnosed thyroid diseases can put people at risk for various other health conditions, again, because of the way the thyroid impacts the whole body. So thankfully, there are ways to nourish our thyroid with lifestyle factors as well as with essential oils. And I go through that in the latest episode of the Essential Oil Revolution. I talk about how essential oils can help support the thyroid by modulating specific triggers such as stress, dietary deficiency factors, blood sugar imbalances, the microbiome, immune health modulation, to looking at how they can manage some of the symptoms, such as looking at calming essential oils or oils for balancing hormonal health. I did a whole podcast on essential oils for balancing hormone health. I also talk about essential oils for detoxification because we want to take the stress off the liver. And I also do a kind of a rundown of a list of popular oils for some of the issues with hypo and hypothyroid symptoms, such as pain, inflammation, skin issues, digestive disturbances, detoxification support, which I just mentioned, and anxiety. And then I go through about 3 or 4 studies where essential oils are directly impacting hypo and hyperthyroid symptoms. So I hope that gives you a good overview of the thyroid gland, why it's so important, how to determine whether or not it's optimally functioning, and also a brief look at how essential oils could potentially help you in managing some of the symptoms and also addressing some of the underlying conditions that could lead to a thyroid imbalance. You can get more information and the full episode of the Essential Oil Revolution by clicking the link in the video description. It'll also send you to my website, which has more detailed show notes as well as all of the resources. I also offer additional resources you can access through that link. So I hope you enjoyed this information. Thank you for listening, and remember to take really good care of yourself because you are so worth it.